Maximus Analysis here for August 18th, 2016, and we've continued to have a painful amount of movement over the last 3 to 4 weeks. It has been to the point where it's almost painful to watch. So let's look at the weekly so we don't get trapped. We can see that basically, what was this? July 25th, the high was 2172 and a half. We're only 12 points above that in a matter of 4 weeks, ending this week. So we have not moved at all. So the breakout traders are either getting frustrated or they're having their theta burn like hell because they're using 30-day or below. Theta is basically the deterioration Greek that is on the options. So that means that as it goes, again, an option that is $1, $2 might be, 30 days and 2 weeks, half time might be just from theta. If you don't get any movement, which is what we're experiencing now, might go in half just because it's just not moving. The problem is that on the as far as implied volatility is extremely low. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So what is a pound VIX? $ VIX. This is the volatility index. When they say that volatility spikes, this is kind of what they're talking about. This is Brexit, of course, the spike up in volatility and crash back down. And it's usually an inverse relationship with price. But what's happening now is that if you're selling options or selling spreads, you're not getting a lot of premium on your because there's not much volatility. So honestly, the best thing to do right now is to be buying options because they're looking to be poising to go volatility to spike up once more. With that being the case, we're still looking at, again, 2186, 2184, 2186 is what I had as resistance, 2186 the hard resistance. But we have to look at how things are going into the action, and you can see basically using the weekly, which again, when there's chop, it's best to go to higher time frames, not to get yourself kind of, everything will look volatile on a 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, and chop will even look tradable on those smaller time frames, and it's kind of good to get a higher time frame to really kind of weed out or take the noise out. So we'll continue to look at what happens tomorrow. Again, a break of I'm not looking to get long anything, except actually there's a sector that's doing well, which is XLU. The XLU sector is actually doing pretty well this week. XLU is the ETF for the utility sector, and they're actually setting up for a pretty nice long coming in, and I'll put some more on what names in the utility sector. But the energy, of course, because of crude, is doing really well, and you can see that we've had levels on crude for a while now, and it hit very well. So if you took this one, again, I tweeted out some levels that you can roll your stop up to, because again, you're going to see this if it breaks 50, and it might be a lot of profit taking, and that's the time when you just roll your stop up, not too tight that you might as well just take the position off. But I will be providing levels. Again, the first one I provided was 2 days ago, was 43.12. I think the next one is 46.47, which you can see that might be a little bit too close. So basically around the 44.5, 45 level, you could put that in, and it's already given a really good payout so far, because the break of this high on that was $42, so it's 48. It's basically up $6, so that's pretty good. On each future, that's about 6,000 per future. So again, you could use USO. If you don't, USO is I would suggest using the common. The options do not move well at all. Using that is still a $9 stock, so again, you could put a couple hundred shares on and go. And even if you just say, listen, I can only put 50, it's giving you scalable, plus you don't have the time factor of an option. The NQ, we are continuing again, just chop city. You're going to have pretty much the same thing in regards to the YM. Actually, this is the YM. I'm sorry. This is the YM. I'm just so used to all of it chopping. And then you got this. It looks like a perfect little setup that, again, you could go short here with a tight stop. You don't want to go big position, but again, you have about 7 weeks full of upside action that I think they just have to either retest this 4,600 level. Again, everybody took their breakouts and now are like, where's the beef? Again, 2 weeks ago, newsletter, that was the theme. So again, we'll continue to watch some names, and I'll go to the daily time frame to kind of, let you see a couple of names that we have going on, which is price lines moved up very nicely. It was a corny little sideways, flag, but it's still up. It's gappy, but it's still up. We continue to watch that one. Google was down about almost $2.50, so we're gonna have to see where this one is going to move. Didn't follow through at all. Google on the weekly time frame, you can see almost will be setting up for a beautiful short. I'm in the short right now. I want to see where we close tomorrow, but again, I'm looking at the overall volume. The volume is fine now. I just want to continue to the upside, but again, there's no real price movement. I do want to show you that Apple, it looks like, again, it could be setting up for another short. Again, if you see here that this volume is really dying down and it's coming up into the last resistance point. So right now it's actually giving you a pretty nice risk reward, and again, once it breaks that 200-day moving average, it could go down to about the $87 mark. So very close to the previous sell signal, got above the channel, but again, you don't chase because it could go down a couple and you're going to have to trade it very quickly. But I think this name is just, again, you have 4 lower highs in a row. And I think this name is not looking that good at all right there. Sorry for the wrong trend line. But again, I will be adding some stuff onto the newsletter this week. Again, some opportunities within certain sectors. And the financial sector is actually one of the other weak ones that we'll continue to look at. Again, it's only up about 1% over this past year. So if financials are supposed to be the leader of this market, they haven't. I think it's more the tech side. So we'll continue to watch and look and dissect what this market is giving us. But right now, again, I've started saying, banging the table on not going long for weeks now. I think I started really saying it on the July 22nd newsletter. And you can see why. Again, we're a month in and we haven't moved at all. So again, even if you say I didn't get into anything, at least you didn't get burnt up if you were getting options, because a lot of people will not do anything. I mean, especially the weekly options. The weekly options, this has been a gift for the market makers because people have been buying it, trying to predict things. You buy a weekly option on Monday, I guarantee that theta will burn that thing into a half, especially with no volatility, by late Tuesday, Wednesday. Again, and if they just churn it, you're at the point now that you're praying that it has some big move by Friday, and then it doesn't. So they've been burning this weekly option market up in a pretty major way. And again, if you have positions that are on, using that weekly option to burn it, meaning that you sell stuff against stuff that you own, would be a good little way to kind of get some money in while you see this thing turn sideways. I'll try to talk about that more on this newsletter as well, on basic ways that you can bring money in while things are not moving that much. But again, don't let them snake charm you into putting in a trade right now, and we'll continue to watch it. But I think, again, the retracement is coming. Take care.